What up, you players? Welcome to the channel, and today let's talk about the January 2021 developer update that came out on the 8th. Now, the developer update will cover a bunch of things coming out on the PTB for the 12th. I don't know if I'll be able to cover all of it because, full-time hours and all that jazzabazz. But I will do what I can to give you information from the developer update so we can see what could be coming out, and hopefully I can give you guys some information as I play through the PTB as well. Now, the first thing I want to cover as I scroll right down the screen here will be the clown. The clown is now getting an afterpiece antidote, which will be another mode of the afterpiece that he can throw. He will now have the afterpiece tonic, which is general power, and the afterpiece antidote. A few things about the afterpiece antidote: it is delayed, and it will be a whitish gas. And once someone goes through it and delayed, and into it comes a yellow gas. That yellow gas will give whoever goes through it, survivor or killer, a 10% movement speed boost, which makes you think, why would I be throwing out movement speed buffs for survivors? Well, that is because, in their words, they would like it to use in mind games to use the afterpiece tonic to go into dead zones, make them go, oh, don't go to the pink gas, go over to the clear/yellow gas and gain that 10% movement speed, not realizing that you threw that gas into an area that has no pallets or anything in it. I could see how that can work later games, just because, if a survivor believes they think there's a pallet there and you've already destroyed the pallet there, then give them that little movement speed boost to go into the dead zone. But I don't feel that's going to be as impactful because, true rank ones don't really give a crap. They'll loop you the best you can. But the clown's power is still, I honestly think the clown's power is good. What the clown lacked was, the ability to travel across the map. This could actually work. I didn't even think about that until now. You just throw a movement speed tonic randomly as you're moving, walk through it, and when it turns yellow, gain the movement speed, get across the map faster, reload. I feel like that's pretty awesome. I don't know, I want to try that out. But speaking of reloads, this is actually going to count for all 4 of your tonics, so you don't have to switch between them. You don't have to I got 4 antidotes and 4 tonics, gotta reload them both separately. No, they all use the same 4 or whatever number of tonics you have when you come into the match, which is pretty cool. If a survivor is affected by the tonic, the antidote will clear it. Now, they don't mention if the tonic will be cleared and then they gain the movement speed boost of the antidote as well if you're affected by the tonic going through the antidote, or will the tonic, if you're affected by the tonic and go through an antidote, does it cancel out and you don't gain the movement speed, but you're no longer hindered in your movement speed? I feel as though the way they worded it is that the movement speed, you'll lose the debuff of the tonic, and you'll just gain the speed of the antidote, which grinds my gears that you don't need to make a power that benefits the survivors anymore. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think that's really a thing that needs to be done, but whatever. We'll see how this works out. They're also going to be changing the reload time of all your tonics from 3 seconds and from the 5 seconds, so you're naturally going to get more speed on it. Now, they're going to be changing the add-ons of the clown, which makes me think that they're going to remove the movement speed add-ons, and not the movement speed, the reload speed add-ons of the clown, which is really going to suck, because I would really like to get that 3 seconds down to a 1 second reload. That would be pretty sweet though. But I don't think that's going to be a thing. The next thing we want to talk about is the HUD. The HUD is going to be changing. They'll tell you at the top how many gens are going to be remaining, which we normally had on the right hand side. Now it's at the very top. You can actually change the HUD size in your option menus, so you can have small HUD so you have more screen, or make your HUD bigger if you're practically blind. But the best part I like so far is that you can see the survivors' faces on the side, and I think that's really awesome. You'll be able to see the survivors' faces along with their names to match up with that, so you'll figure out you'll see that Dwight and you're like, got him. Now, the only thing I question is, what if 2 different Dwights come with 2 different skins? Will they have the default Dwight skin? Now this is right here, default Dwight, and then you just 2 default skins for Dwight and the person, and then you're just sitting there well, that doesn't help me much. Now there's a whole team of Dwights, and I don't know which one is which still. But if it'd be really awesome if the profile matches the skin that is currently being used by the person. That's just something I want. That's just me. I think that would be pretty awesome. This is already awesome enough. I just want more. I want more. And now the other thing they're going to be showing you is how many hooks you have on the side. Now, I don't know how many notches are in it. I'm not counting it. You'll probably see it in post. But on this left hand side for the killers, you'll see a little hook thing that says, hey, you've hooked the survivors this many times. And let's say you hook all survivors one time and they all die, and you're like, you've only got 4 out of 12 hooks, my man. Looks like you suck. And you realize now that you've got to let them get off the hook so you can farm them more, because pipping. But I don't know, I just think the visual on the side is pretty awesome. I like that. The other thing they're changing for the survivors is you'll see how many notches on each of the survivors have to see what stage or how often they've been hooked, which I think is pretty cool. But like, I don't think it was necessary, only because, like, come on now, you can see the shadow animation, you can see the aura animation of them on the hook struggling. You're like, well, clearly that person's on stage 2. Okay, so like, it didn't really change anything. It just looks cleaner, I guess. Yeah, it's just less looking at auras. You can just stay focused on your gen without looking at auras and look at the HUD. Weird, but gives people options. Options aren't a bad thing. I like the character portrait. So the other thing is getting through that, because that's like whatever. The next part is the locomotion animation, which I think is pretty cool. The survivors are going to get a whole bunch of new animations. The game's been out for a hot minute with the same animations. The guys all run the same, the girls all run the same. Everyone has the same motions, and so they're going to give new animations for the characters. And they did want to stress that the movements will not change how you teabag and moonwalk. Apparently that's super important to survivors. They I looked through some of the Twitters, and it's like, I want to make sure that I can moonwalk and 360 survivors because it gives me clout. oh, all right. Well, I mean, hey man, whatever helps you sleep at night. Now, I did like the fact that even though they're changing the animations, it will not change how the game works fundamentally. So you don't have to fear that if you're running left and you want to run right, it would be the exact same timing, just different animations. No stress. It's just a visual orgasm. Enjoy that. I think it looks pretty awesome. Now, here's the part that got me a little upset, and speaking to some people, I feel like it makes sense for them to question my upsetness, but I feel like they're not looking at the whole thing. I'm not being spoiled, but the matchmaking is now finally, after 4.5 years, finally going to get a rework where at the end of the month, whatever rank you are right before the reset, you will gain some rewards. Now, I'm totally cool with getting rewards. Now, if you look on the screen, these rewards look pretty lucrative. 250,000 blood points for rank 1. The average player is somewhere around the purple rank, so that's 150,000 blood points. That's like 5 completions of like 1 cycle of blood web. That's pretty sweet. But like, when you truly think about it, if you were looking to grind blood points, you could do 150,000 blood points in like 2 to 3 games. So my beef with this is, thank you Behavior. Truly, if you ever watch my videos, and I doubt you ever will, thank you for giving a reward for ranking up. I am truly happy at this. What I'm not happy is that you're giving us blood points, and like not even like good blood points. Hey, let me put this in perspective. You could, if let's say, because I'm a rank 1 killer, and then my rank reset comes around, ta-da, 250,000 blood points. I can get that by spending my iridescent shards, just getting that out of like 1.5 of the shrines. And I can do that like 4 times a week in the month. So you see me blood points I can get by getting iridescent shards, which I'm going to get by playing the game anyway. So like, why not give us iridescent shards so we can use those to buy the skins? And before you go, oh no, that makes them lose money. come on, hold your horses. Like, this isn't a free to play game. You gotta buy the game, buy the expansion. I know you can get every character for free and every perk for free, but you still at the very minimum have to buy the base game. And even at the minimum, still, if you want any of the licensed killers, you gotta pay money for those. So like, iridescent shards would be great, because most of the skins that require iridescent shards are some of them are pretty nice, but for the most part they're like color changes. And so iridescent, and if you don't want those skins, you can redeem it for something on the shrine for these type of blood points. I think that would have been great. Apparently I was reading on Twitter where True said, why not give like a blood point bonus? Like, if you're in the 20 range rank, you don't really gain much, and as you get closer to rank 1, every match you get bonus blood points. Somewhere between, rank 4 and rank 2, you gain 80% bonus blood points every single match. In rank 1, you'll gain double the blood points every single match. And by doing that, you give people the incentive to want to just play the game more instead of grinding through the game. Because like, you can go from rank 20 to rank 1 if you grind in a week and then never touch the game and get your 250k blood points, which is a bad idea. But if you're not like a hardcore gamer, that's something. I do that in some of my mobile games. Get to a certain point in the game and stop playing. So like, but if you give it like, hey, you gain something by being in this rank by playing more, then that gives people incentive to play more in that rank to gain more. Because if this game is nothing but farming, that's great. People have saying, hey man, that sucks, don't do that, because now there'll be more try hard items and more iridescent what those damn thing, hatchets and stuff like that, like more purple. But like, isn't that what the game's about? Why would people not want to use their good items? Because oh no, I don't know when I'm ever gonna get another one in my blood web. Then it's like, well, that kind of sucks. Give them more blood points, let them use more things. Like, that's the way to do the blood point approach. I'm commenting True on that because True said it on his Twitter, and I read that and went, yo, that makes sense. I like that. And the part that really irks me mostly would be the fact that every month you go back to rank 20. So no more going from red to purple, purple to green, etc., etc. You just, if you're rank 1, on the next rank reset, you are now 20, which is going to pool a bunch of good and bad people together. Hopefully you can grind through the ranks faster, because that's going to suck otherwise. And that's that for the most part for the rank rewards. The matchmaking, they're bringing back the ranking system, which they should have done. I know they had it before, then they yeeted out the system when it didn't work so well, but I absolutely love the matchmaking system, and I love the matchmaking idea. That's going to be great based on skill, and now rank would no longer mean anything. Rank just I think rank essentially would just mean your quote-unquote success rate at playing the game the way the devs want you to. So like, if you go against a rank 1 and you're like, bro, I'm a green rank, like, why are you? Well, the matchmaking would tell you, well, though you're green and this person's rank 1, you have similar skills, so don't fret, don't worry about it. This person's just good at getting through what the devs want you to do to rank up. Now, you can be efficient at like 4K'ing people, but that's 4K'ing people one hook at a time. You're never gonna rank up. But you're good. So there's that. I'm not entirely sure how the formula for the matchmaking system is going to work. I would love to see that formula and see what they plan for that, but so far we don't know. Maybe once the PTB actually comes out, they'll reveal more of their formula and how they plan on going about that. There will be graphical updates, glorious graphical updates for Crotus, Pren, Asylum, and Gideon Meat Factory. Just take some time to marvel at these beautiful pictures. They've given us 4 of them to look at so far, and those look good. Gideon Meat Factory looks okay. It's really bright, brighter than what I remember. I don't think Gideon's Meat Factory is actually that bright, but I'm okay with it being bright. Screw Claudette players, I'm saying that from the heart. And so but it just looks like a cleaner version of it. However, Crotus Pren looks stunning, absolutely stunning. And I know these are just like not the act. These are like those what are those dingleberries thing called? Designer. Like, these are my designers. So I don't think that's actually in game. Maybe it isn't, but it looks good either way. Now, there are a few other things they changed. They're going to be changing in the PTP. The Wraith is getting true invisibility, much like Freddy does. If you're awake, if you're beyond 24 meters, you cannot see the Wraith. If you're anywhere between 24 to 16 meters, he's somewhat visible. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. And the way he works now is going to be within 16 meters. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm not so somewhat visible between 24 to 16 meters sounds like when he's already invisible. That's going to be interesting. Can't wait to give that a shot. The next part I'd like to talk about would be the Trapper. The Trapper right now, it's not the change I wanted, but I guess it's okay. Currently what's going on is the right now what they're saying, the basic way the Trapper works is if you're stuck in the trap, there's a 25% chance that you can get out of your trap. The first 4 attempts roughly giving you a 68% chance to escape, and then it teeters off afterwards. But that's not in my experience. A lot of times I'm just stuck forever. But as I'm playing killer, if I'm playing as a trapper, usually what will happen is the survivor will get stuck in my trap as I'm chasing them, or when I'm really far away from them and I'm chasing someone else and it doesn't really matter. So this doesn't bother me much. What's going to happen now is that there's going to be six basically a number rolled between 1 and 6. Whatever number they get is how many tries is going to get out of it. It's a flat number no matter how many times it works. 6 attempts is going to get you out of there, which, so you may get on the first, you may get on the 6th, but the first 1, 2, 3, the first 3 attempts have the lowest chance for you to get out. 4 is roughly the exact same amount as before, and 5 to 6 you have a higher percent because you'll never exceed 6 times in a trap. On the 6, if you have to get the 6 times, you were just unlucky, but at least you're out of it. Hopefully the trapper isn't on your behind as you do that. Deep wounds is getting the change. Instead of 30 seconds for you to get down to be in the deep wound state, it is now 20 seconds to get out of it. So that's okay. That's a killer favorable thing, and I support it. It's kills me help. Now, the perks that are going to be changed: diversion. Diversion is going to get changed to words. Pebble perk. It's going to take less time for you to charge up diversion, so you can throw more rocks. Totally cool with that. Throw more pebbles. I support pebbles. Fixated. You will no longer lose the 20% movement speed while injured. You keep it all the time, which I'm totally down with. That's the reason people love Fixated. Seeing your scratch marks help, but 20% movement speed is just good, and I'll take that. Hex Undying. Oof. I was hoping to save this one for last, but since I'm scrolling down the screen, here it is. Hex Undying is going to get the change. And I just look, just the TLDR of how to if you don't know what Hex Undying is, go read it. But Hex Undying right now, the way it's going to work is there are going to be 2 totems active as usual, Hex Undying and let's say Hex Ruin, because that's the reason why Hex Undying is getting changed. And if you destroy either one of them, Hex Undying will always be the first one to go. No more destroying Hex Ruin and then it moves to another totem, and then destroying that Ruin and it goes to another totem. Now, whatever one of those you destroy, it will always be Hex Undying. Now, to change up the fact that it's being nerfed, because of that, what's going to happen is if there's any counters on it, much like Devour Hope, you don't lose any counters because you're no longer destroying Devour Hope, you're destroying Undying instead. The other part of the perk that was really strong was being able to see auras whenever you're near any totem. Now you'll only be able to see auras of survivors near dull totems, so if they're on your actual totem, you won't see them, which is fine by me. There's other ways to keep your totems safe. I really did like the extra insurance on your totems, so you can go in and bop them before they destroy your perk. But, you know, they did this because they were saying hex totems are strong perks that are meant to be destroyed. Like, is that a joke to you? Because there I see, what is that damn perk called? Hex Third Seal, just sitting there looking over, sad. Yeah, strong, cool, not a thing. But so far I've heard people really upset with the Undying change, I'm totally okay with this change. I'm not in favor of all of it. I would like to keep the aura reading. I know that's really busted. You know, like what you could do is just reduce the time they were on it, or only show the aura of people working on totems, whether it's dull or not. If they're working on a totem, their aura is shown, not just walking by it. I thought that was a little busted, but like if they're working on the totem, I'll take that. But whatever, it be what it be. I'll take it. Iron Maiden is getting changed from 15 seconds to I think 30 seconds exposure coming out of a locker. I don't think anybody other than Huntress runs Iron Maiden, so cool. I mean, look, it makes the Iron Maiden stronger. I'll take it. I don't run Iron Maiden like ever. Now, Open Handed is getting a buff-ish. Here's the reason why I say buff-ish. One, if you're watching this video, even if no one's watching you, raise your hand if you thought Open Handed didn't stack. I'm raising my hand. I don't have a cam on this, but I'm raising my hand. I had no idea Open Handed even stacked with other things. So, to think that 4 people running Open Handed could have got me 24 meters reading, I didn't know any of that. And now I'm kind of upset and convinced my friends to run Open Handed. So the way to fix that, instead it no longer stacks, but the one person who has it will give an aura reading of 16 meters at rank 3. To me, that's fine. I was the only one of my friends running Open Handed, and in my mind it was always just 8 meters. So to me, this is just a buff. I'll take it. I love Open Handed. And for all of you looking at me going, no, Del, why do you love Open Handed? Look, I don't laugh at your choices. Don't laugh at mine, okay? Second wind is the last thing we're going to talk about. It now will take less time for you to heal after being hooked. If you don't know what second wind is, whenever you get unhooked, you are broken status, and after a certain amount of time, which I don't remember off the top of my head, you instantly heal. So that way you can just keep on running. Just keep on trucking it, which I thought was pretty cool. Allow you to get right back on the gen, keep working, don't have to stop time to heal. You'll do it yourself. So now you'll heal faster from second wind, which is good because like nobody runs second wind already. So with that, that's everything coming over into the PTB. I'll hopefully get the chance to play the PTB and produce a video for you guys as well. And with that, I'm getting the heck up out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Beat the crap out that like button, hit that subscribe, comment down below, hit the bell, all the YouTube spiel that everyone puts out there. You know it. YouTube's like old as hell. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao.